Hey, what's up guys, welcome to this module, the setting up shop module. In this first video I'd like to cover hosting services and how to pick the best hosting service or company to set up your private blog network on, and how to set it up in a way that is most secure and doesn't make Google mad. So first of all, IP addresses. The main thing in this hosting, what I look for in hosting companies, is what kind of IP addresses they provide. So many people in the past were using something called C-class IP addresses, and this is not as safe as it used to be, and I stay away from C-class at all costs. I'll show you what an example of C-class and A-class IP address is in the next slide, just in case you're not that technical. But comes down to it, always get A-class. A-class is significantly more expensive, but it's worth the money. It's not that much expensive. I was paying $50 a month for 12 A-class IP address, so it's not that bad, and it's worth it if you're going to be investing $300, $400, $500 into a private blog network. So, example, A-class example is these would be like the IP addresses that your websites would be hosted on. So 192.268.32, and then 385.234.25, and then this. So as you can see, there's no possible way to like link them together or see that they're related in some way or form. But in C-class IP addresses, everything will be the same except the last digit. So it'll be like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and then 0.4. So this leaves a big footprint with Google, and I'll go in the next slide how this actually penalized a whole bunch of sites a year and a half ago, I believe, with a major SEO host. I believe they're owned by HostGator, and I'm not sure exactly what happened, but almost all people are using the hosting company to host all their PBNs and whatnot. And what basically happened was Google banned all the sites, or penalized all the sites that were hosted on that hosting company. And here's how they did that. So Google banned for all IPs ranging from 1 to 100. I don't know if this is the exact IP, it's just an example I made up. So Google banned all IPs ranging from 234, 1.1 to 1.100. So what happened was the SEO hosting company owned all these IP addresses in this range, and Google noticed that a lot of private blog networks were hosted on IP addresses in this range. So what they did is just went ahead and penalized all sites that were being hosted on this range of IP addresses. And this is why you want to stay away from C-class IP addresses, because this is what C-class IP address is. It is a unique IP, but it's similar in a sense, so it's not 100% unique. That's why you always want to go with A-class, because there's no possible way for Google to like point it out, like these set of IP addresses are private blog networks or something like that. So options. Some options. My favorite, which I use all the time, is smartseohosting.com. I currently pay $43 or something like that dollars a month for 12 IP addresses, and they have more if you want. And Skynet Hosting, they're a bit more expensive, but they're also good, I heard. Webhostingtalk.com, you go in the forum section, and there's like a web hosting deal section, something like that, and this is basically the most secure way of doing it, but it's a pain in the ass to manage and post to all these networks and build sites on these networks. So you basically get by a different $1 a month host for each site, so you have a different host for each site, so you have to have a big Excel file and whatnot. It's a pain. I used to do this in the past. It's a little bit cheaper actually. $1 a month for a 12 domain PBN will be like $15 a month hosting bill. So it's a little bit cheaper, but and it's also safer. So if you're really paranoid, you can go ahead and do the web hosting talk, but it's a pain to manage. It killed a lot of my time, so I go ahead and stick with Smart SEO Hosting. I just go in their backend, I just change the IP addresses of the sites and call it a day. It takes me 10 minutes to set up all the IP addresses. So it's really convenient in that sense, and I'm sure Skynet Hosting uses a similar platform. Conclusion. Even though A-class IP hosting is expensive, it is a worthy investment to protect your $500, even $1,000 PBN. I would never build a PBN again without A-class hosting or going with the web hosting talk method. That's it guys, thanks for watching this video. I try to make it short and quick so we'll have more time for the actual live building of PBN that's coming up soon.